once that, what is always referred to as the light, goes into the darkness of fear that you inhabit inside of yourself, it's literally the lights come on and you go, whoa, whoa, wow, this is different. This is me? When I'm out there, when I'm outside of myself, when I'm just following who I think I am, doesn't feel or look anything like who I really am in here. Well, how can I get what's in here out there? How can I get my inside self here that's been hidden away for who knows how long outside so that I can walk and talk and be my inside self, my true self? And love says to you, if you apply me to that self, if you say to that self, I love you. If you say to that self, I will love you and embrace you in love. It's called loving yourself, loving your true self. You love all of you, and that is indeed the case. But in order to get to all of you, if you just stood outside yourself and told once again, let's say by love yourself. And you say, oh, okay, I'll love myself now. Well, what does that mean? How does that look? Well, here's what you're supposed to do. And blah, 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 blah. And okay, I will love myself. I will adopt that behavior. Don't go anywhere because I'm going to need you to tell me exactly what to do at every step. Okay, and what should I believe in love? And what should I say in love? Okay. Now, here's the deal. If you allow love inside and you apply love to yourself, you do it, then when you follow love's guidance, it is not because love is telling you to do it, but yourself, your true self is telling you to do it. Your true self is saying, yes, I need to love myself. Yes, I need to break through all of these fears that I have. Yes, I need to walk the truth of who I am in my life. Yes, it is important to love myself because when I do it, even the bit that I can do in this moment feels something different. I feel more alive. I feel clearer. And I feel like I can see in a way that I haven't seen before. So for me, love works. And then love says, okay, so now that you get it for yourself, just follow the truth of that. Follow the truth of what it means to walk in love. Follow the truth of what it means to embrace love and to love yourself. Follow this path that I have set out, and you will walk right out of fear. And understand this, as long as you keep choosing love, fear cannot stop you. The only reason you haven't left so far is because you didn't realize all you had to do was choose. And you also didn't realize that all you have to do is say no to fear. You also didn't realize that you have the power to say yes or no to either one of these energies. You have to choose one. There are only two. And they're governing energies, so you cannot choose one or the other, simply because there's no other governing energy to choose but these two. And again, the backstory to that is for another time, but this is what you have. One is life-inducing and supporting, and one is life-destroying. Fear destroys life. Love supports life. Those are your two choices. You get to choose which one you want to govern your reality, which one you want to walk the path of. Walk the path of fear or walk the path of love. If you choose love, fear has to accept that. Now, because it's fear's acceptance of that's a little fuzzy. And that's where you get confused. If you choose love and you say, well, I have the power to choose love and fear can't stop me and it can't make me stay in fear. No, but it can campaign. It can continue to campaign for your choice, for your attention. It campaigns to undermine your certainty of the choice you made. It can blow up a lot of steam, and it can cause you to believe that, oh, I really didn't have a choice. Fear is everywhere. Fear is calling me back. Oh, fear will call you back. But in every moment, you still have the choice and the opportunity to say, no, I choose love. No, I choose love. And that's really all you have to do. Is it easy at first? No, because you are so used to, accustomed to fear's design, fear's energy. It's familiar. It almost sometimes feels comforting because it's so recognizable. Love, completely new territory. You have to learn everything all over again about how to operate as a human being. It's interesting. It's exciting. It's fun. It's work. It is work. But understand this, once you make the choice to walk the path of love and to love yourself, your loving yourself applies, it's the self-application of love that takes love inside of you so you're not just following orders again, following someone else's directions, that your motivation to walk the path of love comes from your own desire to do it. You cannot say that about your journey in fear. There is no desire to be afraid. There is no desire and joy about following a path of fear. You do it because you don't know what else to do. You do it because you are helpless in the face of an energy that is so powerful and so overwhelming that it completely blinds you to anything but your ability to just follow orders. You have an opportunity. And now that opportunity, what was an opportunity years ago, has now changed into an absolute necessity. And that is why we are here now to engage with you. We started over 20 years ago with this work to discover whether or not indeed human beings were capable of reconnecting with love by loving themselves, and if they were capable of choosing that love as a reality and choosing love as a path to walk their lives, whether or not it could actually happen, whether or not human beings could get to the root of their own injury and fear, because the root is the deal. The root is where you are hamstrung. The root is where fear has you. So you can say all kinds of very positive things, and you can do all kinds of positive acts and learn all kinds of positive modalities, but the deal is fear still has you if you don't get to the roots. All right. And we created this design to see if human beings were capable of getting to their own roots, pulling those roots of fear up and shifting into love. Whether or not it could be done, whether or not a human being could live through it, whether or not the walk on the other side was viable, whether they had all their pieces and parts and could function in love after pulling up roots that have been there since day one. It was an experiment. It really was. Because it really hadn't been done the way that we designed it. That The responsibility for waking up, the responsibility for healing was totally in the hands of the human being. It's not like going to a doctor. It's not like going to a psychiatrist and no judgments on any of those, but this was something you had to do. Every human being had to be responsible, because the only way you could get in touch with your own power, your own real power, would be able to do something this big for yourself and witness your own innate abilities, which are far, far beyond anything that you really can even imagine. And that's why you are kept asleep and shuffled through one system after the other from the time you are young. It starts and you just go through systems, and it's all to keep you asleep. It's all so that you don't wake up and realize, I have choices. You try to, and you're adolescent, and that is completely, well, you know how that goes. It doesn't go well. And you have your moment of clarity, and then you are, dampened down. And those of you that get quote unquote wild about it, you do it in a way, but you're frenzied by that point. Something is off, but you don't know what. So that's why when young people get to your colleges and universities, there's all of this drinking and all of this mayhem and hazing. And it is really a sign of something that should have happened, didn't. And the feeling of that, the need to break free, is still there. The need to break free is there, and so it gets acted out in all of these quote-unquote wild behaviors, and sometimes very negative and hurtful behaviors towards each other, because you are rebelling, but you're rebelling against something far deeper than you have any idea of. That your chance to wake up was there. It was right at your fingertips, and then it just got damped down. And you got shuffled into yet other modalities of, behavior modification. And you don't have to go through your educational system for that. You can leave your high school, shall we say, and get your job, which is another form of behavior modification. All these things in fear are designed to modify the behavior of human beings, to make sure that they stay asleep. It is really like that. And that is the key here today. We want you to understand this. It's really like that on your planet. This is really happening to you. This isn't just a notion. And you can stay as busy as you like, being in the life that fear is sponsoring for you. The reality that fear, and it looks fine. A lot of it looks just grand. But a lot of it is starting to look really, really not so grand. The behaviors of human beings are starting to really show fear's true agenda. Things are breaking down. Human beings are behaving in ways that some of you who have been here a while, could never imagine. Everyone is getting impacted. The children, women, the state of women. When earlier you were thought to become the front runners of change with your liberation, where did that go? Was that really all a bit of a show? Not for the beings, never for the beings doing it. You do things with such earnest. You give so much to all of these systems that you are handed to imbue, to embody, to enhance, you go for it. You are so amazing that way. You make lemonade out of lemons every single time. But you have to understand that everything that you are handed has to have limitations. It has to cut you off at the knees. It has to let you go so far that you think you've accomplished so much. But in truth, the roots of where you are still the roots of where you are. So, living like that over time, you realize nothing really is changing. It all looks, with all the whistles and bells and flurry, like their great change is afoot with all sectors and segments of your society. All this change, all this evolving, it never happened. Look at your world. It never happened. And not only did it never really happen, look at the liberation of women. Look at the equality of gays. Look at the equality of race. It didn't happen, you see, because the roots never change. Everything happened on the surface, and now it's starting to show. The veils that covered up the lack of real change are dropping. And it can be very dismaying for human beings to witness what is happening to your world. Who's in charge? Well, you're starting to see that those in charge are not really looking out. Everyone has agendas, and those that are in charge who are supposed to be guiding you, you've always taught to follow, whether it's your government, your educational system, your medical profession, your churches. Look at any one of those things and ask yourself, is there any one of these systems that have not been inundated with fear and negativity and abhorrent behaviors? Has any of these systems not been touched and infiltrated by that? Is there any one of these systems that has a purity of thought, belief, and action? Not a one. And you have been taught to believe these are your leaders. These are the people that guide you. These are the systems that will keep you safe, that will keep you evolving into better human beings. It's not happening. Now, the upside to this, because there are always different ways, different seats in the arena to take to look at a situation. The upside of this is that it is a deal breaker. This is a deal breaker for human beings. This is where the opportunity comes for real change. Because unless you just want to go down with this ship, you have to, and some will shake yourself, wake up and say, look, this is not okay with me. This is not what I had in mind for myself. This is not what I want to see for all my fellow human beings. This is not working. What is it going to take? What is it going to take to change this? If I'm hearing the thing that I haven't tried, that I have to go inside, it has to be me, that I am the hero in this for myself, that I am the leader here for myself, that I am the one who has been appointed to do my part to save humanity. It's on me now. For each one of you who can say that, it's on me now. So what do I have to do? Well, I'm going to tell you. You have to go inside and find your own truth about who you are. You've got to bring love inside. You've got to connect with your power. This is it. This is how this changes now. If human beings don't make that choice, this is going exactly where it looks like it's going. Just look at it. It's just going to keep going that way. Do you think that it is impossible that the human race will end? Think again. If you take a closer look at fear and just imagine what fear's agenda is, if it's the opposite of love, then you have an idea of exactly what the intention here has been all along. This is not high melodrama. This is like cold water in your face. Wake up. This is it.